That's one of the oldest buildings anywhere in the city. It's the original Billingsgate Fish Market. There was a fish market famously registered on that site for over 1,000 years, until sadly a few years ago, in the 80s, the tradition was broken and the fish market was moved further downriver to larger premises in the Docklands area. Just behind that though, you'll see another of London's newest buildings. This weird shaped one that gets wider as it gets taller. That's been given the nickname the Walkie-Talkie. It actually hasn't even got a name, it's just known as number 20 Fenchurch Street. But as is commonplace of all the glass buildings around the city, it's also got a viewing gallery at the top. This one's a bit different from the others though. It's called the Sky Garden of London. It's an indoor botanical garden made up of various bars and restaurants, and believe it or not, it's absolutely free to go up. Absolutely free. All you need to do is book online in advance at theskygarden.com. And ahead of us to your right now, London's very own warship, the C-35, the code name for Her Majesty's vessel, the HMS Belfast. The Belfast was built in the Harland and Wolff shipyard, Northern Ireland, in 1938. That is the same shipyard as the ill-fated Titanic was built. Later commissioned in 1939, she saw many theatres of war. She took part in the D-Day landings at Normandy, the North Atlantic convoys at the Battle of New Danzig, and also the chasing, shelling and eventual sinking of the German battleship, the Scharnhorst. She last fired her guns in anger during the Korean War, where she was in fact the flagship for the United Nations Army. Then set to be scrapped by the government, she was saved by the Imperial War Museum. The vessel now stands here today permanently and peacefully moored as a floating maritime museum to naval life at sea, and with 7 decks aboard her to explore, she is well worth a visit. Ahead of us to our left now though, one of the most historical landmarks anywhere in the world, the Tower of London. Started in 1078 by William the Conqueror, he actually started the centrepiece, the main tower with the 4 turrets, which is either called the White Tower or the Norman Keep. Following reigning monarchs added to it, and in its time it's been many things: a palace, a fortress, a royal mint, believe it or not, a zoo, but more importantly of course, a place of execution. Look to the River's Moor on your left, and you will see the bricked up archway with the words "Entry to the Traitors' Gate" above it. That's where traitors of nobility who rode downriver from the old Westminster Palace, which we all know today as the Houses of Parliament, they were taken up through that archway and up onto Tower Hill, Tower Green, where they were later executed, which was more often than not their heads being chopped off. The night before they were due to be executed, they was usually stored in a park called the Bloody Tower. You can't see that today because it's behind the bloody trees. And the bridge ahead of us, arguably the most famous and photographed bridge anywhere in the world, known as the gateway to the city, the Tower Road Bridge. Completed in 1894 at the cost of just under £1 million and designed by Sir John Wolfe Barry. He actually designed it meticulously in the Gothic style to blend in with the Tower of London. It is a twin suspension and bascule bridge, the only one of its kind anywhere in the world, making it quite a feat of modern engineering even for its time. The 2 centre bascules of the bridge, they weigh 1,000 tonnes apiece and can be raised into a fully upright position in just 60 seconds to allow larger vessels in and out of the upper Bore of London. But very shortly we're going to pass through the centre arch of the Tower Road Bridge, and as we do, to our left hand side is our next stop, which is St Catherine's Pier for the Tower. Now folks, at this point we do ask and insist that everyone on board the boat, upstairs and downstairs, please take a seat and remain seated until the boat is safely moored alongside the pier. It is for your own comfort and of course your own safety, especially if you have small children with you. Please do now remain seated. Also folks, just to give you some information about your tickets. Anyone on board with Circular Cruise or St Catherine's tickets, you must leave the boat here at this point. This is the end of your journey with us. There will be a vessel coming along to take you back to Westminster in about 10-15 minutes time. So once again, anyone on board with Circular Cruise or St Catherine's tickets, you must leave the boat at this point. Anyone on board with River Pass or Greenwich tickets,